armed forces of Ukraine repels major Russian assault near Kursk, destroying 50 vehicles and killing 45 Russian soldiers. Ukrainian forces dealt a severe blow to Russian troops near Kursk, halting a multi-wave assault and inflicting heavy losses in personnel and equipment worth millions. The armed forces of Ukraine successfully repelled a massive assault by Russian forces in the Kursk region, dealing a significant blow to Kremlin forces, according to a report by the 47th Separate Mechanized Brigade Magura on January 9th. We could not independently verify the video's time and location, which shows several Russian vehicles being struck during the engagement. According to the brigade's press service, Russian forces deployed a large number of personnel and equipment, including tanks equipped with mine clearance trawls to clear paths. The attack came in 6 waves, utilizing about 50 vehicles, including tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, armored personnel carriers, and even buggies. Despite the scale of the assault, the Magura Brigade reported that they were able to repel the assaults, destroying numerous Russian tanks and armored vehicles. The financial losses to Moscow alone are estimated to be tens of millions of dollars. In terms of personnel, the Kremlin lost an entire company, with around 45 soldiers killed and more than 50 wounded. On January 5th, Ukraine launched a second offensive in the Kursk region, targeting multiple areas and achieving tactical progress. Geolocated footage released on January 5th and 6th confirms Ukrainian forces had advanced in several key areas, including southern Berdyan, central Ruski Perechny, and central Novosotnitsky, all northeast of Suja. An open-source intelligence OSINT analyst, known by the pseudonym Def Mon, reported that Ukrainian forces had advanced approximately 2.7 kilometers into Russian territory on the first day of the renewed offensive. However, it remains unclear whether Ukrainian troops have consolidated their positions. Pro-Russian bloggers have acknowledged significant Ukrainian pressure in the region, hinting at the potential for further escalation in the coming days. As Russia intensified its counteroffensive efforts, Ukraine's special ops adapted by repelling assaults and targeting reinforcements. North Korean soldiers, deployed by Russia to boost its forces, have become frequent targets of SSO operations. On January 7th, the SSO reported the elimination of 13 North Korean soldiers during operations in Russia's Kursk region. Operators from the 8th Special Ops Regiment reportedly killed 5 soldiers in a gunfight and eliminated 8 others using drones. Recently, the BBC Russian service notes more than 6,000 Russian elite soldiers killed in Ukraine. The estimated numbers of elite Russian troops killed since the start of the full-scale war in Ukraine on open-source data. The actual figures could be much higher. After nearly 3 years of its full-scale war against Ukraine, Russia has lost at least 6,083 elite soldiers to combat, whose training took years and millions of dollars. This figure includes only regular military personnel serving in elite units such as the Airborne Forces or VDV, Marine Corps, Ministry of Defense Special Forces, Rosgvardia, and military pilots. In total, based on open-source data, journalists have positively identified 88,055 Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine. Investigation of losses among elite forces that included Russia's Military Intelligence Directorate, or GRU, Special Forces, played a key role at the start of the full-scale invasion. During that time, they suffered the heaviest losses and were forced to be pulled back to rear areas for reorganization, being replaced on the front lines by mobilized personnel and prisoners who agreed to fight in exchange for release. Even so, airborne and marine units continue to carry out important missions on the front lines and to suffer significant losses. On September 1, 2022, it was reported that 900 elite Russian fighters had been killed, but by the start of 2025, The number of those killed exceeded 6,000. Regular soldiers from elite units remain a crucial part of the fighting on the front lines. They carry out special operations on the most critical areas of the front. For example, while Wagner PMC mercenaries used released prisoners for the assault on Bakhmut, airborne troops held the flanks. From 2022 to 2024, Marines participated in the assault on Vuhledar, and now they are suffering losses in Russia's Kursk region and continue to fight in Donetsk. In total, the losses of Russian airborne troops amount to at least 3,957. By the start of 2025, the BBC recorded the death of 580 GRU Special Forces soldiers, of which 108, or nearly 1 in 5, were officers. These are very serious losses. The training of Special Forces GRU personnel takes years.
Kick you up! RPG?
Yeah, we good. Take the box, open it.
RPG.
Yeah, the bullet enter inside the bullet.
Cadê meu rádio?